Welcome back to the link. And I'm saying welcome back because with the lockdown, it was as though the link had been locked down too, but business is opening and you need the link. You need to be linked to information that helps you make business decisions. And tonight we're starting with the most pertinent issue of taxation, and there's something they call deferment of taxes or deferring, which is part of government's stimulus package, if you like, a part of it. But can you really benefit? How can you benefit? And tonight we have Mr. Albert Beine from the Global Taxation Network. Albert, welcome.
Thank you, Sam.
Our time is never enough, so we shall move straight away. Tax deferment or deferring of taxes, which the Minister of Finance spoke about in the budget speech. What are we talking about here?
Thank you. You are right. During Honorable Minister's speech, budget speech, he indeed mentioned that to address some short-term emergency, liquidity requirements and boost companies in terms of cash flows, he had proposed a number of tax measures. And indeed, these tax measures are now to be presented in Parliament and passed.
Okay.
And among them was deferring payment of taxes. Okay. Now, from the time he read the budget to date, a bill has come out, a supplementary bill.
Yes.
Under the Tax Procedures Code Amendment Bill 2020. And within this bill, the main objective is to amend or insert a provision within the Tax Amendments Code Act to defer payment of income tax for companies and also pay as you earn.
Okay.
Now, what has come out in the bill is what we need to look at and see whether it's really going to benefit the people or not. And the bill has been very clear, and I will just take you straight to what it is saying.
Yes.
The bill is saying that the minister, that the deferral referred to that we are talking about shall only apply to a person who is in the business of tourism, manufacturing, horticulture, and floriculture, with a turnover of less than 500 million Uganda shillings.
Okay.
And this is now where there is a challenge, Sam. You mentioned specific sectors, and the objective was to make sure that you give a relief to sectors that have been badly hit.
Yes.
Are these the only sectors that have been badly hit?
I don't think so.
And in our view, a number of sectors have been left behind. Look at the education sector. It has been hit. Why do we leave it out? Look at the transportation sector. It has been hit. Look at the entertainment.
Yes.
But even the general business.
Even the media. People have the impression, but we are being hit.
Yeah. So, we believe that when this bill is actually presented, assuming it is presented to Parliament in this format, we would believe that maybe members of Parliament will discuss it and expand the sectors so that they include other sectors that have been affected. Two, they are talking of turnover of less than 500 million. 500 million turnover is for medium taxpayers.
Yes.
It's not huge.
Big, I'm thinking.
So if you want to give a relief, people have been hurt. People have been badly hurt by this pandemic. So remove the threshold. Remove the 500 million and let those who have been badly hit maybe put a procedure where they can come and apply and say this is how I've been hurt, and then you can give a deferral. Now, in terms of the meaning, if say we look at deferment of pay as you earn, the Act says pay as you earn for April, May, and June. So what that would mean is that the pay as you earn for those months, you do not have to pay it on the due date when it is supposed to be paid.
Okay.
It can be deferred up to 30th September 2020.
So I will pay it anyway.
You will pay it, and we want to make it clear, because I think most taxpayers were confusing deferment and waiver. Those two are different.
Absolutely.
So the objective is to give people some time to mobilize money, or those who have it to use it and manage cash flows, so that by September they can still have to pay. They would still have to pay it.
So it's like a debt which has been delayed. They say we have given you some space, but you pay the debt.
You pay the debt. Now, ordinarily, when you don't pay tax on the due date,
yes,
you would be, it would accrue interest,
yes,
and penalties. Now, in this bill, the bill clearly says no interest or penalty shall accumulate on the outstanding amount of tax during the period that they have talked about.
Yes.
So it's help taxpayers to manage cash flows. You will still pay tax, but you may not be having it now.
Yes.
So keep, or if you have it, keep it, run your cash flows
and survive.
But you will have to plan and pay it in September.
Now, Albert.
Yes.
September comes.
Yes.
And things have not improved for me enough to pay. And let me say the list is expanded and more companies are involved. What do I do? What happens to me if September 1st comes and I can't still pay?
If the bill is passed in its current form,
yes,
then it would mean that after September, that relief is not there.
Okay.
So probably what we'll be looking at now is, as it goes for discussion, what other reliefs can they put there for those who will still not be able to pay by September? Could there, maybe they could put more provisions where they can now specifically apply for extension
yes,
of that time, so that although the bill talks of September, but after September, can you allow people to apply so that individually then the commissioner can give an extension,
case by case,
can give an extension based on the grounds that you have put as a taxpayer.
What if they don't do any adjustment? What happens to me at September 1st and I'm still struggling?
Yeah, it would mean then that after September, it would start accruing interest, but not interest for the other first month. It would start accruing interest now from September.
Okay.
Yeah, actually from 1st October 2020.
Okay. Who can really benefit from this tax policy? Let me say those adjustments are made and I don't have to pay as you earn until September 1st. Can anybody anyway, included in that list, benefit? State of business is what I'm thinking.
Yes. The objective is very good.
Yes.
The intention of government is very good, to give people a relief. And that's why specifically in its current form, the bill, which we believe is, which we know that it's going to be presented, discussed, and therefore most of these are likely to change. But in its current form, the beneficiaries were tourism industry, manufacturing, horticulture, off-road-culture.
So let me say I'm in manufacturing and I'm benefiting now. Is every manufacturing business in position to even benefit from that? What's your take?
For now, yes, it would be. But what I would advise, that if I am able to pay as you earn, then even if I'm in manufacturing and I'm able,
yes,
then I don't need to go into this. I can actually pay and continue. His Excellency, the President, has always mentioned that there are certain manufacturing industries that are doing well. Those are manufacturing sanitizers and masks. Although they are in manufacturing, if they have not been hurt, if they have not been hit by the pandemic, then they don't need to go into this. They can continue paying taxes. The biggest challenge with this provision in its current form,
yes,
if you leave it the way it is that even those who have not been badly hurt but are falling under these categories will actually utilize it, which will bring collections of URA a bit lower.
But for a business, that's a good thing. Even if I have the cash,
yes.
Now they're telling me you can hold it back. Actually, it's another
and
good
manage
thing.
Your cash flows.
Hey. Give us some advice here as we want to wind up here. How can I best make use of this cash that as I am still holding? URA says continue holding it until September. How can I best make use of this cash so that in September I can pay?
Some in business, the money you have today, the money you are holding today,
yes,
is much, much better than the money you are going to have tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So if you are supposed to pay money today and someone tells you pay it tomorrow, it can do a lot of things, especially if that person is not going to charge you interest on that. So people can utilize it to, clear their other areas they may be having. They can pay their suppliers, they can buy raw materials, production can start. And that's the intention of government, to give people a boost by utilizing that money, managing cash flows. As long as you plan that by 30th September, you will be able to pay that money.
And Albert, finally, I'm thinking some people may not benefit at all because things are just bad. Even if you make me return that cash flow or in policy, I don't even have the cash.
Yes, that's true. 3 coming to 4 months now of so many companies not operating, things are bad. And while we welcome some of these ideas, it's true that even by September, there are some people who will fall under this category, but they will not be able to make it. Look at tourism, for example.
Absolutely.
Hotels have not worked for the last 3-4 months.
And the president is saying we are not going to book halls in these hotels because it's COVID, which is another hammer.
COVID, yes. So some of the companies come 30th September, the bill is there, it probably will have been passed, but still they will find that it hasn't helped a lot because still there is no money they have been with to manage their cash flows.
So the homework perhaps needed to be done even better, as you said, to expand the list so that more players in the economy benefit from this.
Yes, they are, I mean, the entire business, apart from certain manufacturing sectors that have remained afloat. But if you look at the general business, people who are paying taxes downtown, who are paying taxes downtown, they have not worked for the last 3, now coming to 4 months. Even if you give them up to September, where are they going to get the money?
Well said, Albert. Viewers, there is tax deference coming. However, ask yourself, am I going to benefit really? Who is going to benefit really? And we hope that Parliament is cognizant of those realities on the ground and does something a little bit better so that this turns out to be an actual stimulus and not just one of those laws that passed and was read by the minister. That was the link tonight. Thank you for joining us.